In C#, a structure is a value type data type, and to create a structure we use the struct keyword. Structures are used to represent a record. Suppose you want to keep track of the students in a school. You might want to track the first name, the last name, the grade, etc. for each student. So let us create our first structure. To create a structure, go to the Solution Explorer, then right-click on the project, and then choose Add. From the options, go to New Item, and then choose the class. Change the name to Student, because we are going to name our structure Student, so for that write Student. And then click the Add button. In front of the class, write Public. Change the class to Structure, so for that just write Struct. So now we have created a structure. Now let us define some properties for this structure. For that we write in here prop, double tab, change the type to be string, and then the name, first name. Do the same for the last name, so for that write in here prop, then string, last name. Let us add one more for the grade, so the type is going to be integer, and the name is going to be grade. So that's all. A structure can be initialized with or without the new keyword, the same as a primitive variable or an object. So let us go to our program.cs file, and in here let us write student s1 for the first student is equal to new student. Now let us define some values, so s1.firstname is equal to Ervis, then the last name, so s1.lastname is equal to Trupja, and let us define a grade as well, so s1 dot grade is equal to 5. Let us create the second student, so for that we write student s2. So you see that we can define a student without using the new keyword. Now, to fill in this student with some data, let us write s2 is equal to new student. Then next write s2.firstname, then provide a value. Let us do the same for the last name and for the grade. So now that we have created our two students, let us display the data to the users. For that we write console.writeLine, then double quotes, and in front of the double quotes write a $, then inside curly brackets write s1.firstname, first name, space, s1.lastname, then write dash, and let us display the grade for the first student. For that write s1.grade. Let us do the same for the second student, so for that I'll just copy paste this line and change the s1 to be s2 for each property. To see the result on the screen, press the Ctrl F5 buttons, and here we have the first student and the second one. But why should we use structures over other objects? We use structures because they are faster than classes, for example, and you can use structures whenever you want to just store the data. Generally, structures are great for game programming, but since they are value type objects, it is not the best option to use them when transferring data. For example, when you are passing data to other classes. Also, structures can have methods, they can have fields, indexers, properties, operator methods, and events. Structures also can have defined constructors, but not destructors. So let us create our first constructor. For that, go to the student.cs file, and in here let us create the first constructor. However, you cannot define a default constructor for a structure because the default constructor is automatically defined and cannot be changed. So if I write in here ctr and then double tab, which is going to create the default constructor, we will get an issue because the default constructor is automatically defined by the structure. So let us change the default constructor to take some parameters. So it's going to have a first name. For that we write string fname. Then next, let us define another one, string lname, and then int grade. Let us assign these values to our variables. So for that we write this.firstName is equal to fname, then this.lastName is equal to lname, and this.grade is equal to grade. Since we are in here, let us create a method. So for that we write public. We don't want to return anything, so just write void and then show student. It will not take any parameters, and we will simply console.write line the student first name, last name, and grade. So for that write $, and then inside double quotes open curly brackets to display the first name. We need another one for the last name, and then dash grade. Let us go back to the program.cs file. Let's create a third student. So for that we write student s3 is equal to new student, and let us use the constructor to create the third student. For that we write John, provide the last name, and then the grade. To display the result, I will simply write in here s3 dot show student, and then press Ctrl F5 to see the result. And then here we see the third student. Structures can implement one or more interfaces, but structures cannot inherit from other structures or classes. Structures cannot be used as a base for other structures or classes, and its members cannot be specified as abstract, virtual, or protected. So this is all for this part. See you on the next one.